right, now for the Republican perspective, let's bring in Tennessee Senator and member of the Senate Judiciary and Senate Armed Services Committee, Marsha Blackburn. Senator, out of all of the public hearing that we've heard over the last 2 weeks, did you hear anything that might make you change your mind and side with Democrats on impeachment?
I have not heard anything that would make me change my mind, because you've heard witness after witness say there's nothing that rises to the level of impeachment. There's no quid pro quo, there's not extortion, there's not bribery. And what we know is that the Democrats have been on this for 3 years. They said they were going to impeach Donald Trump. We're coming up on an election. They haven't done it yet. They are searching for anything to hang their hat on. And as you just heard my friend Adam Smith say, they are waiting to see what the articles of impeachment are going to be. And I have to tell you, this is very different from what transpired around Bill Clinton, what transpired around Richard Nixon.
So you say there's nothing that rises to the level of impeachment in your view, but is there anything that you learned from these impeachment hearings in terms of the president's behavior or some of the people that work with the president that you have a problem with?
We're always watching to make certain that people are abiding by, on our side over in the legislative branch, congressional ethics. And we know that the Office of Ethics there at the White House monitors very closely. And they watch communications, they watch what people say, and we know that they are a part of this process.
So you're okay with all of the president's actions?
We can disagree with a policy, we can disagree with words, but what we do know is that there is nothing that arises to the level of impeachment.
I'd like to ask you about one of the witnesses in particular that testified this week, Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, and you had something to say about him on Twitter yesterday that's getting a lot of play. Let's just read it right now. You said, "Vindictive Vindman is the whistleblower's handler." That got a lot of play on Twitter. Democratic congressman from Virginia said in response to that tweet, quote, "It's Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, and you don't know anything about the whistleblower. Senator, ignorant, disgraceful comments attacking heroes who put on the uniform do not help anyone." Your response to that, and do you stand by your tweet?
I do stand by my tweet, and as a conservative woman, I'm accustomed to being treated as a fourth-class citizen in Washington, D.C., and certainly by the liberal press. Here is what we know, is that Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, and we honor him for his service to the country, but we question his testimony. We know that his direct supervisor has said he had a problem with judgment. He had a problem with staying in the chain of command. And what he was doing was going outside of the chain of command, both with his concerns and also with his grudge that he had against the president, because the president wasn't taking his advice. That's not how you handle it. Now, you can call it being grudgeful, revengeful, or vindictive, or whatever you want to do. But what we do know also is that he would not answer the question when it came to who he went to in the intel agency. There again, Senator, outside of his command.
Let me just jump in here, because you say Vindman is the whistleblower's handler, but Vindman testified under oath that he does not know who the whistleblower is. So this is a serious point, because you're essentially accusing him of perhaps committing a crime, perjury, lying under oath. Are you saying that Lieutenant Colonel Vindman was lying?
When you listen to the testimony, he said he didn't know the whistleblower in the individual testimony. What he did say was that he wouldn't answer the question in the public testimony. There's going to be a lot more that we're going to hear about what has transpired as you look at this issue with the House and their hearing. Also, as you look at what is going to happen with the Horowitz report that we will get earlier in December, and then we'll have our hearing at the Senate Judiciary Committee on December 11th. And we're looking forward there to having the opportunity to review that report.
If I could just press this point, because we are talking about somebody who was an Iraq War veteran, a Purple Heart recipient, are you saying that Lieutenant Colonel Vindman lied when he was asked, when he said that he does not know who the whistleblower is?
I'm saying there is no problem with his service and we honor his service. I am saying we question his testimony.
Are you questioning his testimony that he knew who the whistleblower is?
I just said we question his testimony. And we look forward to find, look, this is something that you, look at this. It is a difficult time for our country. People want to get the facts, and they want to make certain that the people that are giving testimony are giving it in a credible manner, that they are abiding by the chain of command. And we know that this individual had been pointed out by his supervisors as having trouble with judgment and trouble with the chain of command.
Yes, and I should just point out from his perspective that Vindman says that he did not breach his chain of command. He says he went to the lead legal counsel on the National Security Council as he had been instructed to do. But I understand your point. Senator Marsha Blackburn, thank you so much.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
Good to be with you. Thanks. And we're going to have much more on him.